Hello everyone. Welcome to Naturetrek Roadshow. This is Sujan Chatterjee connecting from Kolkata, India. Some of you here who are logged in might have traveled with me before and in Brahmaputra cruise or in Myanmar or Bhutan. So today I will take you through a few photographs taken in one of the most unique habitats of India, the Ladakh, the cold desert. I'll share my screen. So this is what Ladakh is all about. It's a landscape photographer's paradise along with some absolutely brilliant, unique wildlife. So welcome to Ladakh. We have been running trips in Ladakh for the past few years, and we have done two different seasons. In winter, it's mainly for the snow leopard, and in summer for the wider range of birds and mammals. So this is where Ladakh is situated. It's next to Jammu and Kashmir. It is a continuation of the Tibetan plateau, and it's a very unique place. Now the states have been split in two. Initially, there were just one state. So Ladakh is now his administration of his own. So Ladakh, we look for three things. One is, of course, the wildlife, which is unique. This is a chukar partridge standing with a beautiful bluish background, and is the absolute brilliant landscape. This is the Indus River connecting the Zanskar River, and the people, of course. The Ladakhi, these are the monks from the Thikse monastery, and these are people who inhabit these places. They are from the Tibetan stock, and they are adapted to living in this altitude. Why we struggle a little bit because of the we are all from the plains. So I'll take you through some of the unique wildlife of Ladakh. We'll start off with this blue sheep or the bharal. So this is a animal which lives in this rocky area. This is the favorite prey of the snow leopards. So when we go on snow leopard trips, we get to see them very close because in winter they come down closer to the camp areas because there's less grazing on the higher slopes. Another unique bird from that area is the black-necked crane, which breeds in Ladakh. They are found all across into Tibet, and they come down. Those who have been to Bhutan in winter must have seen them in big flocks in the Phobjika Valley. The bar-headed geese, which is the unique bird which comes down to the plains in winter and flies all the way across the Himalayas to breed in Ladakh. This was taken in the springtime where there was still some snow around. The bird has already gone back and started breeding. The bronze mountain finch, uh, another unique bird from this landscape, foraging around the campsites. The brown accentor, not very common, but yes, we do see them. The brown-headed gull, which is a common bird for us in winter, we see them along the rivers up to the estuaries, but when it comes down to breeding, this is where they breed in the high Himalayas. Another beautiful creature which we usually meet up during the winter in around Kolkata is a citrine wagtail, but we don't see them in this plumage because this is the breeding plumage, and this was taken in Ladakh in summer in 2017. The desert wheat ear also breeding over there. The Ladakh species range is not very vast because it's a very unique habitat. So it's a very specialized place, but it has its own specialities. It has got a lot of common birds with the Palearctic zone, which you see in Europe, like the magpies and things and choughs. But along with that, we have lot of birds and animals which are only unique to this landscape. This is the golden eagle, which is also found in Europe, but this is a stronghold of this bird, this magnificent creature. This is the Alpine chough or yellow-billed chough, seen quite commonly around the villages in vast flocks, feeding, rummaging around in the rubbish tips. The great rose finch, absolutely beautiful looking bird, sticks out, easily seen feeding around the rocks and crevices. This is a bird that we see sometimes in the plains in winter. This is the common rose finch, but we don't see them in these colors. This is only possible in summer in Ladakh, where they're in full breeding colors. This is the common redstart, which also breeds in Ladakh, but we don't see them often in the plains. They stick around in that area most of the time. This is the hill pigeon. It does look like the feral pigeons which you see in the cities, but the white tail band is a giveaway. Uh, they live along these slopes and breed in the little crevices and holes in these mountains. The Himalayan griffon. We see griffons again in the plains. The juveniles do come down to the lowlands, but the adults stay in the high altitude. Uh, this is one of the biggest carcass cleaners of that area. The Himalayan marmot. This is a rodent which is found in the flat plateaus of Ladakh. They hibernate during winter, and during summer they have tunnels. They have tunnels connecting their nesting holes between families, and in summer they are always around sunbathing, feeding on the succulent grass and fattening up for the winter. This is the common prey for the golden eagle. There's always one which looks out for golden eagles, sitting up like a sentinel. The Himalayan snowcock, absolutely fantastic bird seen during our trips. This is not as big as a turkey, but I would say this is the size of a common pheasant without the long tail. Himalayan weasel lives in these stony rocky outcrops, feeding on pikas and voles, a voracious hunter. This is a Hume's ground pecker, or ground tit as they call it now. Likes to peck around in the soft sand. It's very specialized bird found in this altitude only. They are seen in some parts of Ladakh. A big is a bird that is sought after a lot. This is the beautiful ibex. This is a Siberian ibex. This is the race that we have in our part of the world. This is a male. We found this sitting alone. Usually they stay in large herds, but this one was alone and sunbathing, still retaining his winter pelage. And then we see them in such big numbers. This is a mixed flock, few females, few juveniles, and a few alpha males. This is a beautiful location called the So Moriri. It's a brackish water lake and surrounded by this arena of mountains. This is where the bar-headed geese, the great crested grebe, brown-headed gulls, ruddy shell ducks breed. Horned lark, again a specialty of these mountains. This is the Ladakh Urial. Urial is a goat antelope which is got uh, long legs and likes to be on the gradual slopes of the mountain. Doesn't like very hard straight rocks. The lammergeier, of course, the majestic lammergeier feeds on the bones and the marrow. So they go around the carcasses and pick up these femurs. They carry it high up in the air and drop them, and it breaks open, and then they feed on the marrow. Very specialized bird, seen well in these parts. Those who take landscape photographs, Ladakh again is an absolute brilliant place to be. Uh, Great opportunity of unique habitat and vast mountain ranges. This is a large yet pika sunning itself. This was taken in winter and during the snow leopard trip. So it's sitting out on the rock, uh, looking very cold. This is one of the main prey of the Himalayan weasel. Robin accentor, uh, a resident breeder of these mountains. This is a very unique animal to these parts. It's called the Plato pica. As you can see by the shape of the head, the eyes are sitting right high on the head because they live on flat ground in the holes. So they always want their eyes to pop up first to look out for any danger. So the head is shaped in a manner where the eyes will come up before the rest of the body comes up. This is the Tibetan snowfinch. Sorry, my mistake. This is Tibetan sandgrouse. Another big, another bird that everybody wants to see over here. This is seen around the Lake Sokar. Along with that, we on one of our trips we saw this fantastic Saker falcon. It has actually caught Tibetan sand grouse in his and it's already devouring it, as you can see. The red fox, obviously you see them quite often in your country, but this is a different race. This is a lighter colored version, the not fully red. This was taken in winter, so it's got full winter pelage. Rock bunting, again a high altitude bird seen quite often over here. Tibetan snowcock, not very common. It's seen in certain areas. We are lucky to see them on one of our trips. That to a big flock. Tibetan snowfinch, another beauty from this place. As the name suggests, it is from these parts of the landscape. A tweet, uh, not very common. It's probably a commoner bird in your country, but they are seen in small flocks around villages. Upland buzzard. This is a fairly large buzzard, bigger than the Himalayan or common buzzard seen in these parts. They feed on voles and pikas, seen around marshy areas where the voles live. Very dark in color and very large, broad wings. White-throated accentor. Sorry, again my mistake. White-throated dipper, and this is again a resident breeder. They do come down a little bit in winter, but not much. They like to be in the higher altitudes than the brown dippers. White-winged redstart, and this is also another unique bird to these habitats. This is on the snow, obviously taken in winter. White-browed teeth wobbler. This is a unique bird to this landscape, likes thorny bushes. This is a layberry or sea buckthorn. As you can see, the little fruits, it's feeding on these fruits in the sea buckthorn. This was taken in a summer trip where the fruiting has happened. Woolly hare, also seen in these high altitude areas. This was bold enough to let me come close to take this shot. The Tibetan wild ass or the Kiang, which is unique to this place. This is a beautiful uh, animal to see in this landscape. They live in large herds of 20, and the males usually like to stay away from the females in singles. This is taken during the snow leopard trip where everybody is, not everybody actually, two of them are looking keenly, looking for snow leopards, while some are just lying around waiting for something to happen. It needs a lot of patience to look for snow leopard. It doesn't happen all day long. We used to camp over there in winter, but now we have shifted to homestays, which is a bit more comfortable than this. This is the beautiful cat we saw on our trip. It had just killed a blue sheep, and it was feeding on it for a couple of days, so everybody got good shots, good views. These are some of the boys who come with us. They are the best spotters as of in this picture. Obviously, they are not spotting. They're taking a break from because the animal has already been sighted, so they're taking a break from hard work. Without them, these trips are near impossible. Some of our punters photographing golden eagles. And I would like to say a few words on this is the end of the slideshow. I would like to say a few words on the Brahmaputra cruise that happens. And this is a trip that has been happening for a few years. Quite a few of you might have been on it already. And we have missed, during COVID, we have missed 2 years, 3 years of these trips. And hopefully from 2023, this will be running again. It's a fantastic trip, very luxurious, takes you through the lush green landscape of Assam. Lots of mammals to see, lots of birds. The Kaziranga is one of the finest national parks of the country. It's got the one-horned rhino, the Asiatic elephant, the water buffalo, lots of deer, lots of primates. And this trip happens over around 11 days and takes you through this river landscape, which is completely unique. I can't describe how beautiful it is. And we go to villages, we go visit some local monasteries. So it's a good mix of culture and a lot of wildlife. And in winter, of course, the rivers are full of ducks. So we see great numbers of these ruddy shell ducks, pelicans. We also see the Gangetic dolphin over there, which is a national animal, national aquatic animal for India. So it's a fantastic trip, and hopefully you'll be joining that trip in the next few years as they happen. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll say goodbye to everyone. Have a nice day and stay safe. Thank you so much.